What's going on to you, Aquarius? So you, Aquarius, have got the Queen of Swords, Knight of Wands, Ace of Cups, the Star, which is Aquarius, so you showed up in your own reading, the Eight of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, the Justice, the Tower, Two of Pentacles, and last but not least, we have the Seven of Swords. Okay, so this is about how a lot of you, Aquarius, Okay. So right now, this is a warning to how a lot of you Aquarius may be a little bit skeptical of really getting to know other people. And why I'm saying that is because the Queen of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. You may have someone coming in trying to get to know you, or a few people coming in trying to get to know you. But the Queen of Swords, you Aquarius are like, nah, no thank you. the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Cups, these people trying to offer you something. They're trying to offer you a relationship. They're trying to get to know you, right? They want to see where this potential relationship goes. And a lot of you Aquarius are just like, nah, you're not necessarily so sure that you even want to be in a relationship right now because you're skeptical. You don't know what other people got going on. And you, Aquarius, just need to remind yourselves that, remember, being in a relationship is always a risk. It's always a risk. Let's not forget about that, right? So you're in a situation where you can't be so scared or doubtful to be in a relationship, because you know what's going to happen? If you are doubtful to be in a relationship, you're not going to actually enjoy the life that you want. Okay, if you know a relationship is what it is that you want in the first place. So the Star card, right, even though this represents you Aquarius in the major arcana, and it's ironic, this actually doesn't represent you. This represents the people that were trying to get to know you, that you dubbed. You know, they really wanted to get to know you, but you Aquarius are like, you ain't got time for a relationship right now because so many people be acting like they stupid and playing games. A lot of you Aquarius are like, right now, Eight of Pentacles, you just want to focus on what it is that you've got going on right now. You don't really want to be in a relationship with somebody else because you don't know what type of games they could not be playing. I mean that's true, but at the same time though, Aquarius, it doesn't necessarily mean that those people are always running game on you though, you know? So that there's a need here for you Aquarius to kind of keep an open mind with this, because you Aquarius are kind of going off on one of your brainstorms again, where it's like now you're looking at it like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't just date anybody right now, even though you want to. Maybe I just shouldn't date anybody right now. And again, that's pretty good if you want to take a little break, get back out there, start to talk to other people, but not forever, right? Like I said before, you can take down some numbers, you know what I mean? You can take down some numbers. You don't necessarily even have to call those numbers right away. And the reason why I'm saying that in the first place is because you want to give a person your number or whatnot, because you basically want them to call you, right, so that they don't feel like they're in a position where you got their number and you're the one stalking them, because that's the scenario that some people will put up. But a lot of times you accept numbers so that when you're ready to call some people, they don't have your number, right? So it's not like they're pressing the issue. You're ready to call them, you can do that. And see, the thing about it is that the Ten of Wands represents, again, for right now, a lot of you Aquarius may just be ready to move forward. You may not necessarily even want to date anybody, excuse me, as of right now. You may not even see the value in it. Not saying that you're never going to get back out there and talk to other people, but what I am saying is that you just may not really see the value in it. The Justice represents because you understand that there's some things about yourself that you're fundamentally going to have to fix. And one of those things is the how it is that you try to be in love, but it just feels like you're cursed. And it's not that it's not that you Aquarius are cursed. That's not what it is. It's just that, see, when it comes to love, you Aquarius have to understand that when it comes to stuff like love, people are not using love as a springboard to make them and the other person better. They're not reciprocating. They're not trying to become better. They're not trying to be their better selves or influence or inspire another person to become their better selves. So when you going into it, when it comes to you, being so smart, you have to understand, Aquarius, that most people are thinking very much so from a baseline perspective. They're not approaching love wisely. They're approaching love from a very downstairs, stupid nature, dysfunctional, irresponsible, mentality that they have. So the thing about the Tower is that the Tower represents it just seems to you like you're never going to achieve love. You're never going to get it. So a lot of you Aquarius may have the mentality now of, why even try? That's not true. That's not true, Aquarius. Like I said before, the whole objective for you is to get to know people who are not interested in playing games with you in the first place. Because that's what happens when you get into the mix with people who are playing games. On a long enough timeline, they essentially waste your time. You don't want to do that. That's why it is that you have to know the games, learn them, know what it looks like when someone is trying to run them on you, so that you don't have to, spend so much time getting to know them. You can essentially just leave. Now, the Two of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords now represents this being a situation for you where, since this is the case, since this is the case, you may need to open up your heart again. You may need to, keep your mind open for potential possibilities. The Two of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords represents, otherwise, this is a reminder of how you shouldn't be going back and forth with it. If you want to get to know other people for real, you have to understand that this is a risk and that you are liable to interact with somebody that is not your match. But this is what it is that you got to do. Don't take it so personally when you interact with people who are not your matches. They're just not your match. They're not your match. You just have to become better and more accurate at identifying who's your match. Are they a good match for you, right? And how not to be so skeptical, right, or paranoid when you see something that you misperceive is a problem, to now you start making it into a serious situation and you leave them. That's what it is that you're supposed to be doing. So the Two of Pentacles, you can't do that with these two conflicting ideas. You will misperceive certain things. So you don't do that, right? You don't want to end up doing that to yourself. So make a decision is what the card is saying. Make sure that if you're going to want to get to know other people, then do that, but do it honestly, but understand that difficulties come with this. But if you want to take a step back and relax, right, and not work on being in a relationship, but just work on your job, then by all means do that. Take the time, heal, rest up, right? Rest up emotionally, physically, mentally, all this stuff, but then do that. And then you have the Seven of Swords, because you will meet people like this in the future. We all will. If we continue to get to know somebody, no matter the zodiac sign, no matter how rich you are, no matter how poor you are, because sometimes people can misconstrue the idea that rich people have it easy. No. Explain Tom Brady and Giselle Bundchen. Explain Rick Ross. Explain, Lil Wayne. Explain Future. Explain all of these. Russell Wilson. Rich, poor, middle class, everybody's having a problem. So the Seven of Swords represents you will run into people who act like this again. Does not mean that you have to put up with these people who are dysfunctional. you could most definitely leave them alone. Let's clarify the Tower. So to clarify the Tower, we have the Two of Pentacles, right? The Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles, right? The Two of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune represents, to clarify the Tower represents, if you keep trying to create or move on this balancing act, this wishy-washy mentality of, well, you don't necessarily know. The Wheel of Fortune represents you will be lost out here. You will be lost, and you'll find yourselves in situationships, interactions with people that you long-term you don't see yourselves in, but yet you in them anyway. The Wheel of Fortune represents how you have to make things clear. What do you want? And stick to that. It does not necessarily mean that you have to stick to it forever or have some sort of blind loyalty, but make a decision. The Eight of Swords and the Page of Pentacles represents, because this will be you know, stuck in motion like this, right? More clarification. The Page of Pentacles, because you have a lot to offer either way. You just need to make a decision as to what it is that you want to do.